is, if you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know? I want to tell you guys something. What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out about crypto. My name is Ben. We're talking balls. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the People's Channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto while dressing like Richard Hart. Guys, my name is Ben. Today is 11/18, November the 18th, Friday, November the 18th. It is 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as you know. Excuse me, we come to you live every single day at this time at exactly 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have Crypto Wendy O. She's a female influencer on the YouTubes and the Twitters to come talk charts with us a little bit later today. You guys know Crypto Wendy O. She'll be on here. Thank you for everybody that saw me on the Crypto Live for show this morning. Really phenomenal. Guys, so let's go to Twitter real quick. Actually, you know what? Let's stop at YouTube first. Let's go to YouTube first. Don't forget to check out our new polls we're doing here. Check out my new poll. You guys can come here to the community tab and check it out. We're going to see which one's better, which one you guys like the best. Then go over here to home and make sure you guys scroll down here to all the different channels and make sure to subscribe to my kids channel, by the way. If you have kids that like video games or sports, make sure to subscribe to All Mountain Sports. He does a really good job. He loves what he's doing. He's 11 years old and he is working harder than any other 11-year-old I know on his channel, and definitely cool. But make sure to follow our other channels as well. We got a Spanish channel. We've got Around the Blockchain, over 2.2 thousand subscribers here. Around the Blockchain moves exclusively here on January 2nd. So you guys make sure to do that. Hidden Network, and of course, your boy Frankie Candles, winner of the FEMAX Trading Competition, won't be on the show today. He might be on the show today. I need to actually check. Guys, who? Is that the same show?
Yeah,
the guy's been showing the whole time?
Same thing.
Same thing. I still have not looked at it. I'm a bad person. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what to tell you here. Okay. So I'm having to check this email because I'm supposed to be on a show. 12:05, 12:15. I got to jump off, and Frank is going to come on and do some stories with you guys. Hope you guys, was it yesterday we had a refund? Or was that the day before?
It was yesterday because I wasn't here.
Man, the same exact story as New Genesis. Absolutely phenomenal. The proof and evidence we have against these people, what they've been doing, it is really sad. What FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried has been allowed to do. We got a lot of really crazy stories. We're going to look at what the Bahamian government has been doing here in a little bit when it comes to SBF. You guys know I want to go hog tie him, but I literally just have this image in my mind of me holding a rope and walking around with Sam hog tied. Like, I don't know. Is that y'all? Can y'all see it? I'm just walking around with Sam like this, you know. Are you coming to New York for the book tour? Yes, we are coming to New York for the book tour. It'll either be I think Thursday or Friday, the last Thursday or Friday in February. So there you go. That's when we come to New York and Philadelphia. Going to London first week or last week of February there. I think the 27th, 28th. Coming right back. We're going to fly into Miami. We're going to do the Miami there. The Atlanta date is the one we don't actually have yet. So did an interview this morning with Dominic from ICP. It's going to be coming out on the channel, I think, Sunday at 3. I think that's what we decided. Saturday or Sunday at 3. I think Sunday at 3 is when it's going to be coming out. So you're going to be talking about the FTX situation, what ICP is. We're going to have a full review on ICP down the road. But I will tell you this. If you guys like ICP, then you are definitely going to like our portfolio video today. We're making some bold statements about ICP. We really think it's a good project. I really do. And I think the more people to look at it, what you'll see is, and I talk about this a lot on this video today, unfair shake. And what does that lead to? A price depression above what it should be. And what does that lead to? A price bounce back, kind of like we've looked at what we expect to happen with XRP. Obviously, different situations, but there you go. What about Toronto? I certainly want to go to Canada and do a couple stops, but that'll probably be later in the year. I would say we got the American cities we're going to do first. Why are you already giving up on us at Atlanta? No, I live in Atlanta. We can do it anytime. Like we're in Cobb County, so that's why Atlanta always gets precedent. We can just do it. We're more flexible to do that date. All right, I want to come here because I really want to show you guys something here on the Twitter's verse. We're at 985.2 thousand. The tick down to, or the tick up to 1 million is on the way, guys. So excited. Never thought I'd hit 1 million on Twitter. You know, it's hard for me to even imagine hitting, you know, 1,000 at some point. Now look at where we're at. But I want to show you guys a couple tweets here. Kevin O'Leary, by the way, on the list of people being sued for promoting FTX. Joe Exotic on the list?
What?
Is this a joke?
That-
This is a joke. This is a joke.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Frick, this is a joke. I fell for a joke. When it
Got him.
was XRP, the standard production, I should know. That guy, everything he does is a parody.
Yeah.
Like everything he does is a parody.
Jared
I saw
from-
Tom Brady, Steph Curry, Kevin O'Leary, and I said, there he is.
That's what you get for not reading all the way down. Jared
God,
from,
what an idiot
Jared
I
from
am.
Subway's on there.
Jared from Subway. Man, he got me. He's gonna clip this and put this on his channel. I know he is, or on his Twitter. He loves this. Man, I am pissed right now. Hunter Biden's on here. Gary Gensler's on here. Dabney Coleman. Who is Dabney Coleman?
No idea.
Let's look Dabney Coleman up real quick. I want to know who this is. Dabney Coleman. The name sounds familiar. Hope it's not a porn star. Who is this? Best known films? Is this guy? I don't know what he was. He was an actor. Wait, is this the grandpa from Problem Child? Is this the grandpa from Problem Child? Let's see if it is. It'd been like 19. No. Who's the grandpa from Problem Child? That guy's the real pro. I really love that guy. He's hilarious. He's dead also. Rest in peace. Okay. All right. Let's yeah, Kevin O'Leary, what is out? I want to show you guys this tweet that I made here because I am making a stand here, guys. I'm sick of Kevin O'Leary. I'm sorry. We were gonna have him on the channel down the road, and you know, we have some people here that have done some work with him and had some decent things to say. But guys, this is ridiculous what he's doing right now. I can't stand for it. And if you guys know, just because we know someone or might have a decent relationship, even if it's through third parties with someone, doesn't mean we're not going to hold them accountable. And I can't bite my tongue on this. What he has said in a recent video where did you see the video? Did you see what he said, TJ, most recently?
I saw one a couple days ago.
With Crypto Banner with Rand?
Yeah, Rands. Yeah, that's the one I saw.
So that one he said, hey, we're going to, you know, we're going to go ahead and, you know, I'd give him money again if he asked. We've already explained why that's stupid and why even Kevin O'Leary has said different things against, you know, different things that are mutually exclusive, meaning he should never say that because he's already demonstrated that, you know, a counter thought to that, an opposite thought. But the point here is this, is that now he's done a video where he said, hey, there are 10 people I know that know, if I know 10 people that know Sam, 9 out of those 10 people will tell you he's a great person. He does good stuff. No, I've not seen the Binance. Is that
Commercial.
Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Ronaldo. Guys, just because somebody's using sports, athletes, sports politicians, sports celebrities, couldn't come up with the word athletes, for promotion, that's not a bad thing.
No.
Like, because FTX did it badly, that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing to bring on promoters, by any stretch of the imagination. There's a big Reddit thread about, you know, if you now that FTX had athletes, if you bring athletes into crypto, it's going to make you look bad. No. FTX looks bad. FTX made these athletes look bad. If you have someone that's not trying to, not trying to scam everybody like they were, then,
they made everybody look bad.
They made everybody look bad, for sure, except for us. We're the only person FTX didn't make look bad. They actually made me look really good, believe it or not. But here's the comment. If you lost money in FTX, you should demand an apology from Kevin O'Leary. He says SBF, who literally stole your money, is a good guy regardless. 9 out of 10 people will tell you he's a good guy. Everyone should tag him and let him know you're a real person who lost money because SBF stole it. Here's the video. I'm sorry, but officially F Kevin O'Leary. Officially. I kind of like similar with SBF. I didn't have my mind made up on him. I have now. Made it up now. What you see in this video is Joe Paterno defending Jerry Sandusky.
Ooh.
That's what you see here. That's what this man is doing. I guarantee you, if you went to every person that knew Jerry Sandusky in his life, and you said, is he a good person or a bad person? I bet you 9 out of 10 people would have told you he was a good person. Maybe even more than that. You know who wouldn't have said it? The kids he was molesting. Their parents. They wouldn't have said it. They're the minority, I'm sure. But what he did was so bad and so atrocious, it's indefensible, regardless of whether he has some other things he's done in his life that are okay. Football player might have came out and said, well, he coached me great. Yeah, he coached you great. Then he was going in the showers in between the freaking practices and molesting kids, okay? 9 out of 10 people might have had a great experience with Sam Bankman-Fried. Real people with real families, with real life savings, lost all their money because of Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda, FTX, and your promotion of it, Kevin. How about you get held accountable? You do need to be named in a lawsuit. I'll tell you that much. The fact that you can come out and you can say positive things about this man who literally stole everyone's money. And now we find out last night he literally hacked into the exchange and stole money to send to the Bahamian government to protect him. How far does this have to go before you're willing to make a stand and say you were wrong? How far, Kevin? How far? People need to hold this man accountable. People on YouTube do not need to have this guy on your channel. This is the gibberish he's going to come out and say. This is beyond asinine. This is beyond. What's Kevin O'Leary's image, guys? What's Kevin O'Leary's image? He's actually kind of a nice guy, but he's rough around the edges, and he'll do anything when it comes to money, right? When it's a money decision. This is a bad money decision for him. This makes him look terrible. So no, Joe Paterno, I will not listen to your defense of Jerry Sandusky. No, Kevin, I will not listen to your defense of SBF. And everybody needs to hold this man accountable going forward. I keep saying mound. I don't know why I can't talk today. Well, this man accountable.
Yeah, I think it puts it in really good light considering the mainstream media. I mean, he's following the talking points of the mainstream media. Yep. He's being way too kind. I mean, Forbes just came out and did another puff piece on Caroline.
On Caroline Ellison, greatest trader, female trader in the history of mankind.
New York Times, you know, we've been talking about it obviously all week, how mainstream media has not been, you know, accurate with their reporting at all, and he's falling right in line.
He's paying them off. Yeah. He's paying them off, guys. Because you keep saying he doesn't have any money. As long as Sam Bankman-Fried still has access to tap into the back end of FTX, he has as much money as they have in assets. Which, let me tell you, I can't give you guys too much information about this right now. Maybe down the road I can tell you a little bit more details about this. Maybe I'll never will be able to. I had a phone call last night with someone you will not believe who I talked to. I put this out on Twitter. Not one person in the chat had the person right that I saw. No one person in the comments had the person right. So no, it was not Gary Gensler. No, it was not Sam Bankman-Fried. It wasn't. Okay. But you go and it was not Joe Biden. Okay. I listen to the president if he called me. You know, it'd be an honor to take a call from a president, regardless of how ridiculous he is. But the fact is, when you, if you were privy to this phone call last night, there's a lot to think about that people aren't thinking about right now. And when you look back at this market, and we're going to be demonstrating this, I believe, if not next week, within the next few weeks, we're going to be demonstrating that we knew that FTX was destroying the market. Not that I knew. But if you look back at the numbers and the contracts, it's very obvious FTX was trying to destroy the market. Why were they doing this? How were they doing it? Well, I'm looking to see if anybody said the person. Nobody said the person yet. Maybe at this point I can't even say it. But the point is when you go back and you look at what FTX was doing, specifically over the summer from a tweet that went out that I've seen. And now we know their predatory practices. And we know what they were doing with counterfeiting coins. Suddenly, this is all going to make sense. I now know where the hole came from. I now know why FTX specifically became insolvent. I know exactly why. Because the question's been, well, if they're trading back and forth, how are they losing? Where is the hole coming from? I know where it came from now. And so we're going to be able to demonstrate that here pretty soon. Yeah, it was not Ron DeSantis. I talked to Ron if you'd call me. Look, I'm supporting Ron DeSantis over Donald Trump, just so you guys know. Why? Money where my mouth is. What have I told you guys? What have I told you? One issue voter. If you're against Bitcoin, I'm against you. If you're against crypto, I'm against you. If you're against blockchain, I'm against you. So unless Donald Trump comes out and has a total reversal on his thoughts and feelings towards Bitcoin, which I would love to be the person to do that. I'd love to be the person to talk some sense into him in this regard. Until he does that, I don't give him a second look. And I certainly will be supporting DeSantis over that. DeSantis is a pro-crypto person, and it is what it is. And look, if it comes to election and one candidate is pro-crypto and one is anti-crypto, I'm taking pro-crypto person. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about their viewpoints on abortion. I don't care about their viewpoints on financial literacy. I don't care about their viewpoints on, what is marriage and gender roles. I don't care about any of that. Why? All that stuff is stuff to argue about that none of it's going to matter in 10 years if we're all Great Reset. None of that stuff is going to matter that we're arguing over, okay? So one issue voter, you're either for crypto or you're against me. So that's my appeal to the former president as well, man. Everybody's still in here guessing. You haven't seen it in there, have you?
Nope.
Not a single person has said, wow, that's amazing. Because you'd think it wouldn't be that hard.
Yep.
You would think.
Very
interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So I will not be telling you who it is, by the way. So I'm sworn to secrecy on that. But anyways, so
let's do some market watch.
Yeah. You don't care about abortions? Start caring about women's rights. Did you listen to what I just said, you idiot? Nothing matters if we get Great Reset. No, you want to know why? Because our slave masters will tell us what's allowed and not allowed. None of that stuff matters in the next 20 years. What matters is we save humanity and the World Economic Forum does not take us all over. Read the room, bud. Read the room. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Tell you what, speaking about women's rights, let's bring on Crypto Windio. Let's bring on Crypto Windio. Did you like that, Wendy?
Why are you like this?
I don't know. I was born this way. It's just the thing. You know this. You know me for a long time. You know I was born like this.
I also need to ask why the day I decide to come on, you're wearing what you're wearing.
My Richard Hart suit. Now this is my famous World Series main event poker run jacket. Okay. So now listen, just so we're clear, I had this before Richard Hart ever bought his first thread of designer clothes. I'm almost positive of that. You agree with that, TJ, correct?
No, he's been wearing designer stuff for a long time.
I don't think so. There was a distinct, he started doing it for his image, I'm pretty sure. Like, I like Richard. I'm not saying anything bad about it.
I'm sure he will tell us all on Twitter.
He will.
That day he bought his first designer
Actually, BitBoy, back in 2012, back when I was hanging out with Satoshi, okay, and we invented Bitcoin together, I actually bought a Louis V pair of shoes. So you're wrong, BitBoy. I can see it right now. He'll bring up the screenshots. The Hexkins will come in. They'll be like having all the screenshots of him wearing Louis Vuitton shoes like 12 years ago. Anyways, Wendy, what's going on today? How are you?
So there's a lot happening in the market as always. Yeah. I still don't think we've capitulated yet. Do you think we've hit the bottom?
Okay, so this is what I'm. Why do I say Kelly Kellum up here?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not Kelly Kellum.
Because you really do care about women's rights. That's why.
Well, Kelly's a man, so
I know. I was trying to get you.
That was good. Okay, so here's the deal with what I think. I still believe that there's a very strong chance that we go down $10,000 to $14,000. I still don't think we're going lower than that. I think if you look at the Mt. Gox crash, it didn't go much lower than 85%. It might have gone 90%. I'm not sure, but it was in the same range that we would basically be in. Maybe it goes down to 8,000. It's definitely possible. I don't think it's going lower than that for sure. But what I will say is, if we go back to last year, and this is what I talked about on the channel yesterday, is that when Bitcoin started going back up on that second run, for years on this channel, we talked about the total market cap of crypto peaking in between Halloween and Thanksgiving. But we got so focused on the number that we missed it, and our time frame was dead on. So we've been telling everybody for the whole year, basically, end of November, middle of December. That's when we're looking for the bottom. And I don't want people to get too focused on the number that they totally miss out on good DCA opportunities or good investment points because they get obsessed with the number. So we're within the time range. We're getting within the time range. So I also think when you look at these insolvencies of the exchanges, no matter how big the holes are, the amount of Bitcoin that they own is the amount of Bitcoin that they actually own that's on the blockchain. So all those are locked up and are going to be locked up for a period of time, and they're going to slowly and methodically be released. Not, BlockFi and Celsius and Voyager are not all getting released the same day. So I think that might be able to hedge a little bit. Obviously, if that had not happened and somehow we were able to collapse without all these other companies being, involved, I certainly think we could have already seen those lower numbers, but I think that's holding the market up a little bit. So definitely, that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
One of the things that I'm going to show the chart and talk about.
Okay.
I definitely think we are going to have the 85% pullback, which I'll talk about in a second. But another thing that I'm thinking is that you mentioned all of these insolvencies, these bankruptcies, et cetera. What happens if those legal issues do not get resolved until next cycle? And that's what, causes some of the drawdown next cycle. Because let's face it, the SEC is backed up, the CFTC is backed up, all of these government regulators, all these public servants, they're very, very backed up because of the amount of fraud that happened in crypto. And again, it's a crypto contagion. So and look at Mt. Gox. Nobody's got their coins for that back yet, did they?
Right. No, not yet. No.
And
I
also,
gave up
too,
on my coin.
yeah, we talked about you talked a little bit about Genesis, but we also should talk a little bit about it's Silverbank, right?
Silvergate.
Or Silvergate. Silvergate, yeah. So they're one of the biggest crypto banks in the industry, and they're having some problems. And if Genesis goes down, Genesis does a lot of market making. They don't do a lot of OTC sales. They help a lot of private family offices, et cetera, and they've halted withdrawals. If that falls, we are in a whole world of trouble. So I'm still thinking that some of that is going to help push price down. On top of it, I don't think we've seen minor capitulation yet. Bitcoin mining economics is immensely important. A lot of people discount it. I don't think it's something that we should discount it. When we had that drop from about $7,000 Bitcoin all the way down to 3,200, I believe that was in 2018, 2019, that was due to minor capitulation. And now we have all these miners taking out collateralized loans. They have margin calls, they have liquidation prices. The margin call is basically when they have to add more capital. So if they're not able to add more capital, that triggers a sale because the collateralized company is going to get paid. So that's why I'm thinking, and that's one of the reasons why I've always thought that we're going to continue to see a little bit more downside. So when I take and again, you guys, there's not terribly a whole lot to look at just because the market is so volatile. Please understand when FTX did collapse, they were doing a lot of market making. If you do not have market makers, it causes a lot of volatility. It causes a lot of issues with the entire market. And that's why you're seeing a lot of volatility when it comes to altcoins. But as far as Bitcoin, look at the daily chart, things have definitely calmed down, and we have found a new local bottom at about 15,600. Our MACD is getting ready to bull cross and head up a little bit, but it hasn't confirmed yet. And then market cipher is kind of flattened out and it did green dot, but we still created a brand new range between approximately 17.4 and 15.7. So we're either going to need to break out above that or break down below. Prior to that, we had this really big consolidation range at approximately $25,000 to this bottom area here at about 18.4. That broke down, and we're now in this new range. Me personally, when I'm taking a look at the market, I'm going to go ahead and go to our weekly chart over here so that everybody can see a little bit better. If we take a look at just the downside from the swing wick high that occurred Monday, 15th, November 21st, we get down about 85%. That brings us to a really close bottom at about $10,000 Bitcoin. And again, I have bids. I actually modified some of my bids, and I have bids set all the way down to even $6,000. If I can get a scam wick down there and pick up some cheap Bitcoin, great. I don't have a lot of capital down over there because the chances of that happening could be unlikely. But at the same time, if we don't have a lot of market making that's occurring in the industry and we're going to have to essentially restart it, there could be a lot of volatility. I do think that we will get a really nice consolidation range between the $12,000 and the $10,000 Bitcoin. If you want to bring that up to $13,000, you can do that as well. But as you see on the chart here, especially the weekly, we do have a lot of price action that occurred in this range, $12,000 to about $9,000. So to me, that looks like a pretty good area for us to kind of continue to go sideways. Generally, what the market likes to do is it likes to find bottoms and it likes to consolidate. It likes to go sideways, and it likes to find previous areas where price is traded before. And you can use a VPV to go ahead and show that as well. But as far as the market goes, I am anticipating things to get a little bit worse before they get better. And I also am anticipating some more downside, and I have no problem kind of sitting on the sidelines and sitting on my hands right now because we're seeing this flush out. And you know about this flush out. The flush out is when the top 100 coins are no longer the top 100 coins. And a lot of these alts might not be around. I think that there's quite a few that will stick around, but at the same time, we're in this time period where things are so completely uncertain. We don't know who's going to collapse next.
I definitely think that's true. We don't know who's going to collapse next, but we do know there's a lot of reverberating effects still going on, and the Silvergate stuff is a little sketchy. The ties to Digital Currency Group, obviously very sketchy, because when you look at Genesis, you look at CoinDesk putting out a story about, Genesis and Silvergate and all this stuff, and you realize, wait, CoinDesk and Genesis are the same company.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, So, and I've been told there's a lot, certainly going with, going on this market when it comes to just the ripple effects of how much this contagion is spreading. But I want to be very careful here because something you said earlier, I definitely want to make a distinction here. When you said that things are, we had all these insolvencies and all this fraud, and now the contagion is hitting, it's mainly one group that caused this. It's mainly FTX that
Right.
was the fraud. Now, the fraud's so widespread, it's affected so much, but it's not like we're having like BlockFi is not fraudulent. Like BlockFi was actually a good company. They're feeling the effects from their trust in FTX.
Right, but at the same time, a lot of these companies did not operate super ethically. They weren't really holding themselves accountable. They weren't posting proof of funds. They weren't posting Miracle Tree. They weren't doing a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
This is all going to be new. I feel like one
Yeah.
of the only exchanges that was doing that was probably Kraken. And
Yeah.
then I think that Binance had posted stuff. They were always very transparent about their burn, but at the same time, these companies are not practicing good business procedures.
Yeah.
Any way, shape, or form. And I understand why, and I understand that there is a single bad actor, but at the same time, there's still some sort of accountability there to their
100%.
personal business decisions. Because if you're taking out these loans and you're like, anytime you take out a loan from somebody, you are at their mercy. You are down on their knees. You're down on your knees and you're asking for mercy. Whatever they say, you have to do. And it's just, there's just a lot of problematic behavior that was happening in this industry. And unfortunately, I don't think it is going to get any better by the time we get the next cycle. And the reason why is the SEC wasn't able to push out laws and regulations since 2018. Why would they do that now? There's going to be a lot of investigation happening, especially with Gary Gensler and the SEC. Why were they meeting with Sam? What was discussed there? And a lot of that's going to have to come out, or it's going to get covered up, and we're going to see what the media is doing and pushing these puff pieces, calling these 30-year-old adults kids.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when I was 18, I was an adult.
Yeah. Well,
so
we're
seeing. This is the thing. It is okay to be 30 years old or however old you are and to have fun. You can still wear hoodies. You can still wear very decorative pieces like you are wearing over there that indicates Christmas is right around the corner. But at the same time, it's like, where's the accountability? Yeah. A 30-year-old should not be classified as a kid if they make a mistake. Okay, it's a grown man to me.
100%.
It's okay to still have fun. But I mean, society, and especially in America, does need a change, and that is something I'm going to talk about on my show. As always, you guys, if you are actively trading, please make sure to be removing your profits off of exchanges. If you're somebody who's dollar cost averaging, please remember to remove your funds after you dollar cost average.
Yeah,
we're in a time, unfortunately, where we have to, and literally almost any single crypto exchange could fall at this time. I don't care if it's Binance. I don't care if it's Kraken. I don't care if it's Coinbase. And I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm not saying they're bad actors. All I'm saying is we simply cannot trust anybody but ourselves. And the great thing about crypto is, unlike fiat, is you get to custody your own assets and be responsible for your money.
Yeah, I know. It's great. Responsibility. It's something really cool. But with
at 30 years old.
At 30 years old, right, is a grown man at 30 years old. But instead, at 30 years old, what we like our kids to do is just steal everybody's money, and we give them excuses. All these puff pieces are all these puff pieces are part of a narrative that Sam has crafted himself. He's the one that's pushing this information out.
What if it's his parents?
Well, I'm sure his parents are involved in it for sure. Yeah, definitely. But I want to pass here's a little piece of information about New York Times for people that did that. The famous puff piece. Number one, we do know Sam was on a list to speak at a conference, a New York Times conference on November 30th with Janet the Felon Yellen, Zuck, the Zuck bot, and also the president of Ukraine, which definitely had a hand in all this Ukrainian money laundering, which we'll get to probably in a few months or maybe a few weeks at least, which I'm on the center of that. I know all about the Ukrainian money laundering. We're just trying to make sure the focus is still on Sam going to prison before we move on to some of that stuff. There's also, here's what's really fascinating, okay? A company called Arkham Intelligence, okay? They actually gave information to the New York Times about ICP when ICP launched, okay? I talked to the founder of ICP about this last week when I was in London. Now, when I was in London is when this whole story broke, and all of a sudden, everything starts going insolvent. And all of a sudden I'm everywhere. People are talking about me everywhere. People saw me taking a picture with Dominic from ICP, wearing an ICP hoodie, and they gave that to me, which is cool. I'm a big fan of ICP at this point. And within 2 days of me meeting with them, Arkham Intelligence sends me a message, a DM on Twitter, and wants to know if I want to talk to them or be friends with them or help them. And it's like, guys, this is obviously freaking Sam. Like, Sam is obviously behind Arkham Intelligence giving that information to the New York Times. It's never been more clear. Look, his whole entire game plan, if you haven't figured out what he's been doing, is to destroy all competitors by releasing misinformation everywhere. So what is he doing? He's doing the same thing right now. He's releasing misinformation, probably along with his parents, about himself to make himself look like a freak, like he's autistic, can't do better, he's a kid, no responsibility, all these kinds of things. It's just a mainstream news narrative being put out by him.
The only thing that I will disagree with you on a little bit, I don't think it's just him. I think there is an entire group of people behind him that is helping him to orchestrate this, just because of all the people that he's been connected with in the past. And you know this because you're the one that's kind of broke a lot of it. But again, I really feel like it's his parents, and there's other very, very powerful people that have helped orchestrate this and that are doing PR from him. It's just nobody's able to talk about it because it's all being done behind closed doors. There's a lot of money given to a lot of different entities, and they're all getting exposed. They don't want to get exposed, so they're going to have their PR people and their people, whoever's defending them, keep this stuff sealed and put out good puff pieces. So I think it is an entire organization of people, not just him. And I'm not removing any type of responsibility from him any way whatsoever. I'm just simply saying I think that it is a lot bigger than what people think, and that it's just one man. Yes, he needs to be held accountable for his actions. Yes, there is some things that need to change. And no, he shouldn't be let off despite all of these issues that he has or that he claims that he has. People do need to be held accountable for their actions accordingly. But I believe it is a larger group of people, and it's not just him.
Is that a $650 super chat?
No, that's not.
Is that not US dollars? Oh, what is that? Oh, that's that guy that was coming here saying all the did he say something negative?
No, I didn't see it.
Just click it. Click it so I can see it. Oh, no, that's it. No. Okay, that MX is the currency. There was a guy named MX in here that was doing like those crazy propaganda. Thank you for that super chat. Someone waiting for my book. Wendy, I got to come on your show and talk about my book sometime.
Yeah, I would love to. I was actually going to have you come on the show, but I know you've been super busy, and people are like, I'm getting all these messages.
I always have time for you, Wendy. I always have time for you.
Okay, thank you. But they're like, you need to go live with BitBoy. You need to do spaces. You need to do this. I was like, listen, go watch his show. Go subscribe to his channel. When he gets a moment to breathe, I will get him on my show, and we will talk about all the things. But until then, just calm down. There's nothing like, you have like, people don't understand that we've got lives and we have families outside of creating content. And as much as I want to be out there, be like, come on my show, blah, 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 it's just, we need to like just chill a bit. Like they can.
Me and Whitty are on the long game here. Me and Whitty are in the long game. We've been in this together for 5 years now. Like we're not rushed to try to make something happen. So, I think a lot of people consider us kind of the ambassadors of crypto. You on the female side, me on the, I want to hog tie SPF side, and what you do is great. I said on Twitter, you're always fighting for the people just like we are, and we've been a team for a long time and working towards the same stuff. And it's unfortunate when these kinds of things happen, but you know what? There's nobody better, than you to help us, pick up the pieces of the rubble and, build this back the right way. Let's go.
Yeah, I think things are going to be okay. And this was unfortunately a rude awakening for a lot of people. Like I had to move a lot of assets around. I had to, again, and you guys, I hate using cold storage, and I hate using it because it's hard. It's very, very hard. And leaving crypto on centralized exchanges is super easy. But at the same time, I'm responsible for my own actions when it comes to my money. And that's part of, being in Bitcoin and crypto and NFTs. So if you don't know how to use cold storage, I'm sure BitBoy's got a lot of different videos. I've got videos. We've got newsletters, all kinds of stuff. Just, keep doing your own research and practice some of these things. Always send test transactions. Always make sure to store your private seed phrase super, super safe. And before you send money over, make sure that you can reset your device after you have written down your private seed phrase, and make sure that works. Make sure it works. If you need to contact an attorney with the trust, do that and have them set up a trust. Whatever you need to do to safely store your funds, do it. But understand you are accountable for your own actions when it comes to utilizing cold storage. So make sure you know what you're doing.
I could have said it any better myself, Wendy. And if I did, it wouldn't have sounded that great. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
You don't have a custom mic cover though.
I don't have a custom mic cover. TJ, can you give me a custom mic cover, please? I would really appreciate that thing. Oh, Gucci mic cover.
No.
Yes.
No.
Green Gucci mic cover to go with this. Wendy, thank you so much for coming on. Everybody, we got Wendy's, obviously, her YouTube channel in the chat. You guys can check out. We pinned it in the chat. A lot of you guys are subscribed to her already. If not, go subscribe to her. Support Wendy for sure. And Wendy, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Awesome. I'll give you a call later, and I go live at 10 a.m. PST. Wendy always.
Oh yeah,
out.
I gotta tell you about that thing that I did last night.
I'll call you later.
Okay, I'll talk to you later, Wendy. Okay, bye. So okay, well, we love Wendy. Wendy certainly is great, and we got 7,800 viewers, by the way, 1,300 likes. If you like when we bring people on the chat, make sure or for the show to tell you about charts, make sure to smash that like button. Number one thing you can do to help crypto adoption. Number one thing.
Too early.
Twitter buzz.
Oh, aren't you?
I am, but who cares? Let's go. Look, here's one other thing I would like to say very quickly before we do get into this tweet, which I will read in just a second, which is that, I've been watching the chat over here, just so everybody knows, at least one person finally said it. At least one person on there is correct. At least one person. There may be more. I was watching. Somebody finally did get it, which is quite interesting. That's all I will say. I want to give you another hint. That's all that I will say. If it wasn't for you giving blood pressure rants for 2 weeks straight during the Celsius debacle, I would have lost my life savings on Voyager. Thank you, and keep doing what you do. Yeah, that was really the first time I really started making rants that people were noticing. We've been ranting on this channel for a long time. Just in exchanges, OKX, KuCoin, Poloniex, and QOB do proof of reserves, letting users verify whether their Bitcoin funds are actually there. Well, there you go. That's absolutely fantastic. Let me tell you something else we need. We also need not only proof of funds, but we need, I'm going to call it proof of market. We need proof of market. We need to be able to see on your books your liquidity pool of Bitcoin compared to the amount of Bitcoin that's being traded on your exchange. Because what we saw with FTX is they were just using ones and zeros on computer screens to demonstrate how much Bitcoin they had. If they had 100,000, they would just tell you they had 200,000. And people would trade that 200,000. They were trading paper Bitcoin without even knowing it. We know they did it at New Genesis. We know they did it to Reef. We know they did it to tons of other projects out there. There's some major ones that are going to be coming down the pipeline. You guys are going to find out more about probably in this year. That's going to shock you, and suddenly a lot of stuff is going to start making sense to you. Hey, BitBoy, hope you've been enjoying the BitBoy memes. Team wants to donate to a charity of your choice. Guys, I can't support a meme token. Yeah. I appreciate you guys doing some of that stuff. The memes are really funny. I just can't, because of my position here, I can't be involved in it at all. So good luck with whatever you're doing. Don't rug pull. There you go. That's the best I can tell you. So if you rug pull, I'm going to have a big problem with you. You need to know I'm going to come after every one of you. Okay, don't use my name in rug pull. Tim Kaspari, also though, please make that statue and send it to FTX. I like that idea. Hi, Ben, appreciate your hard work. I am one of the people who stayed after one of your videos in crypto. Thank you. I'm down right now. What is your guys' stand on sand? It's shifting ground.
Yeah, it's shaky.
We like sand. I think Sandbox is going to do, I think it's going to do very well, but it's going to be a while still before full launch on that. But our BitBoy Digital City is going to be out, I think, in the next launch, I think. So we'll see what happens there. If someone's going to donate to a charity, if someone is going to donate to a charity, donate to people in recovery. There you go. Because I'm very passionate about that, coming from that world myself. JustInCrypto.com suspends USDT and USDC deposits on the Solana blockchain. So be careful. This is not a jab at Crypto.com. Okay. All they're saying is they're not accepting Solana, Tether, or USDC anymore. Now, here's what
Binance did the same thing, as far as I know.
Yes, yeah. I think there was another one. Here is what I will say about this situation. I got a guy who keeps sending me messages about I need to stop talking bad about Solana, saying Solana's done. I don't think I've actually, maybe I said it tongue in cheek. Maybe I said it in a moment. I think Solana still has a chance. But guys, look at what's happening. Like, when these exchanges are no longer accepting your stable coins, what does that say? Like, what does that say about Solana? Like, I just want to have an honest conversation about it. I don't want to come up here and FUD Solana, okay? Sam Bankman-Fried is not Solana. He used Solana as a tool, okay? That's a difference, okay? I also found out, I was talking to TJ last night, it looks like we do know a coin called SAMO, S-A-M-O, was used as a slush fund to make settlements and pay out lawyers for FTX. SAMO token, which is a meme coin, supposedly cash slush fund, basically, for Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. Serum, another project that was pumped up on FTX. I actually or on Solana, though I thought was a good project at first. And no, it's just another flywheel like FTT. Now you look, now they're saying Steppen was involved in this as well. Now, once again, this doesn't say anything about the Steppen people, the people that created Steppen. This is to say FTX began using Steppen as a tool, the same way that it used Solana, the same way it used Serum, the same way it used FTT. So when we really look at the damage in the wake of all this, it's really bad. But it doesn't mean Solana is dead. But when you start seeing things like this, where they're removing deposit opportunities, what does that say? Are they just ganging up on Solana? Could potentially be the case. Is it getting an unfair shake like ICP did at their launch? Maybe. Audio.
Talk.
Talk.
Check. Huh. That's weird.
They thought it was frozen.
Check.
Rug. This is not a rug. It's not a rug, guys. We lost the audio completely.
Yeah, just bear with me 1 second.
Sam. SPF. Is BJ here? Why
yeah,
is
it's coming
BJ
in here,
never-
but it's not coming out here.
Why is BJ never here when we need him?
Is he here?
No.
Oh,
That's
they can
good.
hear you now? Oh, weird.
We're back
I
now.
still can't hear you, but I'm seeing levels here.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I said that about BJ. BJ, he's not here right now. What I mean by that is just every time we have a crisis, like, you know, it's not his fault. He's got a lot of stuff going on, but he's the one that knows how to fix all this stuff. That's all I was saying. We love BJ. He's great. Runs our staking pool on Cardano. Does a phenomenal job. But I swear, every time we have a problem, I'm like, where's BJ? It's like, oh, he's not here today or at this moment. So definitely another person. We love BJ. We want to be very clear on that. Okay, so here is audio is back. Great. Absolutely good here. What?
Just you want to do the last tweet?
Last tweet. The U.S. government holds 210,000 Bitcoin. That's roughly $4.3 billion. It makes U.S. one of the largest Bitcoin whales out there. Is that the collection from old the guy who had all the money?
That was
the 3.6 billion.
50,000 of it was.
Yeah, 50,000 of it. Well,
so
that doesn't make sense.
No, it was 3 billion at time of seizure, which was November 2021.
I didn't know that was so long ago.
Yeah.
No, it was so long ago. Very interesting.
But it was just the case he pled guilty, I guess, recently, that's when it got into the news.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there we go. Let me check on this Twitter space I'm supposed to be on. Let me make sure it's still happening. There it is. Okay. All right, there it is. Be there in a sec. Okay. Okay, I wanted Frank, why don't you come and do Market Watch for them? And then I gotta do a Twitter space for 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, can you jerk me? Jerk. Thank you. Jerk that off. Thank you.
Yeah. You could not say it.
Sometimes you got to yank it, guys. Sometimes you just got to, you know. That's right. Yeah. What's going on, guys? My name is Frankie Candles. I'm going to be your fill-in host for just a few minutes here. Shout out to Wendy O. And don't forget to sign up for our BitGet trading competition, guys. I'm excited about this. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think the link, there we go. Link going in the chat right now. Also in the link in the description down below. I believe sign up there. We only have a couple more days to sign up. The registration does end on the 20th. So if you're waiting, make sure you do it soon if you want to trade alongside us. And we are combining forces with the Candle Mafia and the BitSquad. People are calling it the Bit Mafia. I think we got a pretty good chance of bringing home the dub here.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, let's jump in and do a market watch here. Bitcoin coming in at $16,595. Ethereum coming in at almost $1,200 even. Both down just a tiny bit on the day. I guess let's go ahead and check our top gainers. Chili's, it's funny. I was actually talking to AJ about this morning. Chili's just with a mind of its own. It is, I know they have I believe some World Cup news going on right now, so that might be a reason why they're up a bit here. But yeah, Chili's with a mind of its own. Apecoin actually up 8%. Algorand up 6%. Stacks up 5%. And Litecoin, shout out to Tom Crown. Litecoin up 3%.
I was tweeting, but I saw the tweets about that last night. It was setting up looking bullish. So
yep. Yeah, I just saw a tweet, tweet by Tom Crown about Litecoin too. Tom Crown is the Litecoin man. But yeah, top losers, we got Gate Token down 3%, HBAR down almost 4%, Helium down 2.3%, and Nexo down about 2%. Now, yesterday on my stream, I was kind of talking about how, we were expecting a potential short-term pump, but I was still leaning a bit bearish because of, some clear bearish signs we have on the higher time frames. But we did get that short-term pump. It was short-lived, very short-lived, and then we came back down. I know Wendy did go over the chart, so do you want me to stop?
Yeah, we can still pull them up and look at it. She pulled up a few levels. I'd just be curious to compare and see kind of what you're looking at. She was leaning bearish as well, mostly still. And I will say this, my gut right now, I still think there is more room to the downside. However, I am getting encouraged with each one of these large negative news breaking macro stories. The bears seem to be getting exhausted because we're not seeing as much of a hit, it feels like, from what is major breaking insolvencies and such.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how, Bitcoin has been holding up pretty well. And I think Ben made a really good point yesterday talking about how people aren't able to, not as many people are able to move their funds because of all the stuff going on with the exchanges.
Yeah.
Which is, again, like an interesting thing that we don't really deal with very often. It's just kind of this weird, rare thing that is maybe like turning out to be a decent thing because, people can't just panic dump their Bitcoin. But the main reason I am, kind of leaning a little bit bearish here is just because, this is basically, this is a bear pennant here. This is a bearish continuation pattern. These break down more than they break up. It doesn't mean 100%. It could break up, but statistically, the probability of it breaking down is higher. And this is, a pretty big bear pennant, right? On the 4-hour chart, this is very, very clear. Now, if this were to break down, some of the levels I am looking at to the downside, and then, we'll take a look at the lower time frames as well. But if we do wind up seeing this bear pennant break down, major levels that I would be watching is, the first major level is going to be this high volume node at 15,622. You do have a little bit of confluence there with your spider line coming up right underneath it. So that is it should be a decent level of support. Coming in, 15.5 is kind of like the middle between these lines. But then one thing you want to realize here, guys, is that if we start losing that spider line at about 15,500, things could start getting pretty ugly. We actually do have a decent volume gap, down to the 14,000s. About 14.4 is the next major level of support. So if we break that, 15,420 is like one of those major levels that I'm looking at. But if we lose that level, price could start get moving pretty quickly down to that 14K range. But again, it does kind of look like the bears could be a little bit, a little bit worn out here, right? Because yesterday on my stream, the market gives us two things, right? The market is either acting very technically, right? It's respecting the TA, great. And then you just get a bunch of mixed signals. Things are weird. It typically shows up in ranging markets, and it's a little bit harder to read. And yesterday, I was telling people like, listen, I don't want to, I am still leaning bearish for the most part. But the lower time frames did look like they wanted to pop up, but we couldn't get above a key level. And I do just want to bring that level up here because we have been talking about it. And that level, let me get rid of this fib here. That level is this point of control, right? This is the major level that I was looking at. If we could get above there and hold it as support, that is where I was expecting, a decent move to the upside. I've given the targets on.
What number is that? What price?
It is coming in at about $16,780. So this was kind of the level, right, to expect a move to the upside. And we kind of got above there yesterday. It was a pretty nice breakout. And then we wound up just forming this bearish, or I guess technically not a bearish divergence, but we wound up just coming down, tried to hold support, and then we broke down, bearish retest, and we just kept banging our heads above it as resistance. And we know this. We cover this a lot on my channel. With the volume profiles, you do know, once you get below that POC and you can't get back above it, it is more likely to come down and revisit that value area low, which is coming in at about $16,000 even. So, that would also line up with the breakdown of this bear pennant. Obviously, we did get a little bit of a fake out to the upside. Now we're kind of back at these levels. But that's kind of the major next level. If we do continue down, the next major level of support, the first one I would look at is about 16,230, and then, eventually looking to work our way down to that value area low at about $16,000 even. And then if you want to get, more apocalyptic, I know we just talked about that $14,400 level down here. We do have that spider line. But hopefully we can hold that. If we can't hold that, honestly, the next major level of support, I don't have it on this chart, is, between 13 and 12,000. And then you start getting pretty close to that macro point of control that I brought up recently on the stream. And that is basically, let me just pull up the VPVR real quick, because that is actually coming in at a pretty scary number here. Whoops. Volume profile. Here we go. Visible range. There we go. So the next level of decent support, you guys can see, just kind of hanging out. Let me hide the TA here just so we can see a little better. You can see, right, like price just sticking right here on this volume spike. But if we decisively lose this level, we have a big volume gap here, and that next level does come in at about 13.8. And then if you lose, if you start losing $13,200, probably going to be a quick move down to about $12,000 right at the start of this high volume node. And then that point of control that I was just talking about does come in here at about $9,400. Not calling for a sub 10K Bitcoin, but I'm just saying if things get crazy, just look at the volume. There is nothing underneath us. For the most part, the levels in between the gap here are very small. The next major high volume node is really coming in at $9,300, but you are going to get some serious support at 12K. So, that's kind of the apocalyptic numbers. If we do come down and things really start getting ugly, that $9,400 area would be a really, really good place to look for some support. So there you go. I know a lot of people always ask me for, give us your apocalyptic numbers, give us the lows of the lows. And that's, again, not calling for that. I think it's a little less likely we make it down there, but it's definitely a target. And, if we made it down there, it would make a lot of sense.
Well, let me ask you this is kind of psychology a little bit. Say, like everybody talks about, like somebody was talking about in the chat earlier, like, oh, I wanted to buy Bitcoin at 17K, now we're under 17K and, you don't want to buy because you're scared. Obviously, getting down to 10,500 or 9,400, so under 10K, that's a pretty scary number. That's really when you're hearing people saying Bitcoin's done, it's never coming back, crypto's a scam, blah, blah, blah. Like, do you think you'll be able to buy with conviction if we get to those prices? Are you going to be calling for lower lows?
So I'm going to do what I always do, right? I said this yesterday. I say this all the time, right? My original bottom prediction, I think I said this yesterday on this show. My original bottom prediction was mid to low 20s with a panic wick down to 18K, right? That has come and gone. And I said, this was months and months ago that I was saying that was kind of my prediction. And I said, listen, like if we get down there and we get that panic wick down to 18K and we eat it back up and we get that long wick, it could potentially be the bottom. But if we start getting bearish signs on the charts, when you get to those levels, that's when you reassess and see like, hey, if we start going bearish, let's see where the next likely levels would be. So, if we did make it down to that, I'll tell you this. If we make it down to $9,400, I'm definitely going to be buying. Because here's the thing. I'm not concerned about buying the absolute bottom. I think a lot of people are too focused on holding their bag and waiting for the exact bottom. And then I talk about this a lot. If you were waiting, if you're waiting to come all the way down to 9,400 to buy, and then you come down to 12K, you're gonna be like, okay, we're almost there. We're gonna hit 9,400, and you don't buy any Bitcoin down here. and you don't get to 9,400, just like we didn't get to 100K, and a ton of people, missed taking their profits. It was a very, very widely believed thing that we would get to 100K. There were tons of people looking at that number. And, not a lot of people were taking their profits at 64K. They're or 69K. They're basically thinking like, all right, we're a little more than halfway there. Maybe some people took some money off the table, but I know a lot of people got wrecked, thinking, I mean, me too, right? Everybody was kind of expecting that 100K number. Obviously, it never came. But same thing on the way down. I've been buying. I started buying after this big dump here. I started slowly DCAing into the market. And then I said, if we take another leg down, I'm going to DCA a little bit more. If we get another leg down, 12K, I'll DCA a little bit more. 9K, DCA a little bit more. Lower that average buy-in price. But what I'm not going to do is hold my whole bag and, not buy until we hit this line. Because if we land at 12K and bottom out there and start working our way up, people are going to go, it's a relief rally. Disbelief, right? This is a phase in the market. Disbelief. It's just a bear market rally. And then you start coming up here. You're like, okay, maybe it's not a bear market rally. And then they start buying on the way up. And that's not what you want to do. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. If we do go down there, every big leg down, I just continue to DCA in and,
Hey.
amazing. That's all I got. Back to Ben. Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
I thought that was about to be a BitBoy in you moment. That's what it looked like.
They're going to clip that.
Yeah.
They're going to clip that. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. That's not guys, I'm not a dog. Okay. Where are we at? Grayscale, VC. We're going to dream a little less.
Yeah, we haven't really
Silvergate.
done many stories. So
Okay, here we go. Silvergate CEO sees silver lining for Bitcoin. There's always buyers. So let's talk a little bit about Silvergate. Silvergate CEO. I know we never even do the rundown of the show anymore. I don't know what the show has become. But we literally just chat with the audience the entire time, which is not the worst thing. Silvergate CEO Alan Lane said that Bitcoin stands out from other digital currencies, even amid the ongoing turmoil in crypto markets. Silvergate claimed limited exposure to FTX with no outstanding loans and deposits on the exchange amounting to less than 10% of 11.9 billion customer digital asset deposits. Amount was still enough to ruffle investors' feathers, send the company's shares falling by 12%. On Silvergate's future slated tokenized dollar stablecoin project, which the company previously said it would hold off launching earlier this year, right? USDC stepped in there. Lane said the regulators are more likely to endorse permission networks. Really? Really? Well, how about that? Man, people are still guessing in the chat over here. It's amazing. Where did I get this jacket? The Gucci store. That's where I got it, the Gucci store. We're going to dream a little less. Sequoia's Doug Leone on fallout from FTX collapse. I have people that tell me that Sequoia is not a bad actor in the space. Now, I have nothing to say that they are, other than they're just a VC firm, and we know VC firms have gotten a bad name here recently. But that was interesting. Maybe some people can put their thoughts on Sequoia down there.
Yeah, I think Sequoia is just in the middle of this. They gave a lot of. They're the big name that gave a lot of money, but they're pretty respected Silicon Valley VC firm for a long time.
Billionaire venture capitalist Doug Leone said there wasn't much his firm Sequoia could do to predict the solvency crisis at FTX. That's right. Only one man predicted the solvency crisis.
I don't know about that. You could have asked to actually see some documents.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I could have. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Sequoia could have.
They
Before
could
you
have.
gave
I mean,
them,
they have access to
hundreds of millions of dollars. You could have done something.
Clearly, BBC has never been hog hunting. You need to throw hog SBF in the truck. I have been hog hunting there, boy. Just so you know, I have been hog hunting. Sequoia, which invested $210 million in FTX, wrote down the value of its stake in the crypto exchange to zero last week. After rival exchange Binance's withdrawals or an offer to rescue the company led to facing bankruptcy. Leone. Wow, is this Leon or Leone? What do you think?
That one looks like.
I'm going Leon. I think it's just Leon.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? Drop it in the chat. Hinted the FTX implosion may affect Sequoia's investing principles in the near term. Sequoia is in a dream business with entrepreneurs, Leon said. I can tell you that for the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to dream a little less. Guys, this backs up what we're seeing from VCs across the space. They are pulling back right now. The days where you are going to be able to put a banana on the blockchain and get a $748 million valuation, those are over, at least for now. They'll be back. Grayscale liquidation could unleash a Bitcoin Armageddon. And this is, if you want to look at the worst case scenario, this is where you're getting your 4-digit Bitcoin.
Yep.
The FTX contagion effects do not even stop at the largest institutional Bitcoin product on the market, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, also owned by Digital Currency Group. Genesis Trading behind them. As a result of the bankruptcy of SBF's crypto exchange, the discount has fallen to around 40%. Is that a banana on your blockchain, or are you just happy to see me? That's pretty good, Mr. Techno. Yeah, I like that. This is concerning for the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust in that Genesis Global serves as the liquidity provider for the trust. Genesis Global's parent company is Digital Currency Group. This, in turn, is also the parent company of Grayscale and CoinDesk. The Bitcoin community is now demanding proof that the Grayscale actually holds. Ooh, this could be good.
Yeah.
Holds 634,000 Bitcoin in reserve at Brian Armstrong's Coinbase. However, neither Grayscale nor Coinbase have shown any reaction so far. Uncle Brian, Thanksgiving, 6 days away. Me and you at Thanksgiving, Brian. Uncle Brian, I want you to bring that number. I want you to bring that number to me on Thanksgiving. I want you to show it to me, Uncle Brian. Yeah, I want to get Brian Armstrong on the show.
That'd be great.
I've never had my uncle on the show. Do you guys think I will call him Uncle Brian on the show?
Absolutely, 100%.
100%, no question about it. No question. Look, I lumped in Brian Armstrong with Sam Bankman-Fried. When I gave him a little rant, I had some information that may or may not be good. I don't have that. That is not as ironclad as it was on SBF. I want to hear his response. I was very proud to see Uncle Brian call SBF a criminal, where Kevin O'Leary's saying he's a good guy. Brian Armstrong makes a stand and calls him what he is. So I don't know. Is he a bad person for crypto? Is he good? Well, maybe he'll come on the show and tell us. Did he go on Bankless? What show did he go on recently?
I have no idea.
Oh, he's with Chamath.
Yeah.
He's with Chamath on that All In podcast. That's not his podcast, though, is it? It's the other guy.
I have no idea.
Chamath's just on it a lot, I think. So I would bring Chamath on, but I'm scared he would bully me. Because you guys know that was what he was known as at Facebook. He was known as the bully. Everyone hated working for Chamath. And I don't know. Like, I want to know. Can you put a poll in the chat? Put a poll in the chat. Would you be intimidated by Chamath? He's actually pretty tall. I think he's 6'1". He's actually a little taller than you would think he is. But I'm just here to tell you, like, Chamath, you're a great guy. I mean, what? I wouldn't be scared of you. I'm sorry. I would certainly not call you up, but you wouldn't be able to bully me, Chamath. I promise
And
you.
it looks like it is. It says with Chamath, Jason, Sachs, and Freeberg.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
he is. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know he's on there all the time, but would you be scared of Chamath? That's what I want to know. If y'all saw Chamath in a dark alley in Vancouver, I don't know why I picked Vancouver. Would you be scared? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the chat. Dylan LeClaire, famously known for not being able to grow a mustache. Does anyone know of the addresses for the 630K Bitcoin and GBTC? Which, by the way, I obviously make fun of Dylan quite a bit because he hates me, whatever. But he's done some pretty good work over the last couple weeks on some of this stuff. Now, is it because he's a Bitcoin maximalist? They just want to pick apart every single thing? I don't know, maybe. But, hats off to, stashes off to Dylan on the last couple weeks. He's been doing some decent coverage. Chamath is only more intimidating than SBF. If I saw them both in a dark alley, I would not be scared. Even if they had like a mace and a chain, dragging behind them. Did I say? I almost said a dragon chain.
Wow.
Holy SEC, Batman.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Chris Berniski, a partner at Placeholder and former crypto chief at ARK Invest. Hey, we ain't scared here at BitBoy Crypto. I know y'all see 84% of y'all don't think he can boss you around. Tweeted the fears surrounding the unwinding of GBTC and ETH are unfounded and an example of hysteria. Oh, this is not good right here, guys. This is not good. You know what they call this, guys? They call this the dreaded vote of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the NFL and the owner comes out and says, no, the coach is fine. He got 1 week left. You don't win the next week, you gone. That's the dreaded vote of confidence. That's what they just gave here to GBTC. Do you think there's any way GBTC is insolvent right now? I mean, you have to say yes, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's
is there
definitely a
Obviously,
way it's insolvent. The question is, do we think it will crash? Do we think DCG lets it, isn't capable to raise the funds to cover it if there is a hole? And
yeah,
anything seems possible at this point. I mean, this is the one I've been talking about for the last week or two as the contagion looked like it could hit like that's a pretty big trust that if they had to fold that, it would obviously devastate the market.
well,
But I think they'll be able to cover it, honestly.
would love to see a little guy tap out BitBoy. There's certainly little guys that could tap me out. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm just saying he's not one of them. That's all I'm saying. I mean, look, I'm not going to look. I got a few rules. Okay. don't ever, 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 a lot of you guys know this, you watch the channel, don't ever fight somebody that wrestled in college. If this person wrestled in college,
regardless of size,
regardless of size, they will destroy you. Do not, under any circumstance. Number 2, and by far the most important of all fighting rules, do not ever fight anyone that publicly will wear a stitch of Looney Tunes clothing. Bonus points for a Tasmanian devil bandana. You run as far as you can away from that person. If you think you're the first person that's ever made fun of them, you would be wrong. So there you go. There's your 2 fighting rules that'll keep you all safe. And that also still applies regardless of size. Regardless. Really, the truth is, for that person, the smaller the scarier.
The scarier. 100%.
The smaller the scarier. You guys know that.
Yeah.
Always look at their ears first. That's a good one from Not Yoda. That's an underrated tip right there if you're looking to fight. Look, I've sized people up before. I've sized them up. There's been some people I've sized up that I had no business sizing up. But I will tell you that is good if you're sizing somebody up. You look at that ear, you go, oh, no, I don't want any piece of that, okay? So, all right, here we go. Have I watched Bloodsport? Of course, what a great movie. Proof of reserves isn't a panacea for future FTX-like collapses. Guys, the proof of reserves it's a good step. It's not enough. We need more, for sure. So there we go. Who punched me? Nobody punched me in the mouth. I got a freaking fever blister, guys. It's nobody punched me. It's not herpes. Have y'all ever got a fever blister in your life?
I haven't.
Do you know when I get fever blisters? A lot of times when I'm out of town. I don't know why that is. Something about the change in air. I'll get them a lot in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that makes
there.
sense. That makes sense.
That is not what I'm. God, I didn't mean it like that. Okay?
Yeah.
But that, yeah. But the air out there is very dry.
Yeah, it's dry.
It'll crack your lips. So
it's chapping. Yeah.
Yeah. People that fight butt naked are scary. You'd be terrified of me. Binance in hot water after removing $2.7 billion out of proof of reserves wallet. So there you go. Well, why does it matter they point $2.7 billion out? Don't they have a lot here?
Yeah, they had 70 billion.
70 billion in reserves, 2.7 billion. I tell you that the thing about a lot of these movement between these exchanges is a little concerning. Don't you think so?
Some more than others. You know, like you expect certain movements between the larger ones, and they're settling stuff, and they've got OTC desks that interact and some of that kind of stuff. But when you start seeing it between mid-tier ones and like that, yeah, like the crypto.com Gate.io stuff, just kind of weird, kind of strange.
What if they wrestled in college and are covered in baby oil wearing only a Looney Tunes leather pouch? What does that say? Leather love pouch? What's a love pouch?
I have no idea.
Is that a fanny pack?
Yeah.
That's a scare. I wouldn't even want. I can't even imagine.
Anytime you talk about that, I picture the guy that has like short denim shorts with the Tasmanian devil on the back and the Tasmanian bandana. Like that's the guy I picture.
You do not.
Yeah,
guys. That ain't the first time somebody's came up in his trailer and tried to stop it. I'll tell you that. Not the first time. Yosemite Sam, an underrated Looney Tune character to stay away from if you see it on clothing. Sylvester and Tweety Bird also. If a woman is wearing a Tweety Bird shirt, she has 7 cats at least. If they keep accredited investor laws the same, go up a little bit. They keep, let's see. How does that affect us retail investors if we want to buy coins and are not accredited? That's a very complex question. I can't really get into that right now. That would be its own show probably. Because there's a lot of implications of that. A lot of implications of CFTC versus SEC. I think we have the right solution. And we are going to be, hopefully at the end of this month, we're raising the money for that and should be moving forward. So I know we've been saying it for weeks, guys. It's hard to raise money in this market. You saw what the VC people said. Guys, we need like $140,000 to register. We need $3.6 million for the bill in its entirety. So we've got a 501c4 set up for this. If anybody wants to make some contributions to that, you guys, I don't know where they would email if they're interested in that. If people are interested in that, you guys can email info@hitnetwork.com and we'll make sure that gets dispersed to where it needs to go. Because when people find out what we're doing, it's going to make total sense. And I can tell you this, when our bill becomes public, if it doesn't get voted in as an amendment on the Boozman bill, a possible executive order, or part of the DCCAP, the Boozman bill is that, or on its own, we're all screwed. I'm telling you, if this bill does not get voted in, we're all screwed. The regulation is definitely going to go sideways. Sending monies to raise money for the bill. Well, that'd be good. Appreciate that, Car for Coin. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, info@hidnetwork.com, and we will make sure. And do we have our political Discord link somewhere?
I should be able to find it.
Yeah, throw that. We'll throw that in the chat. You guys can go there to our political Discord. Crypto Wonk runs that. Does a phenomenal job over there. And as soon as we get our bill public, I'm gonna be doing an AMA in there and things like that. I just personally don't use Discord a lot. It's guys, the difference between Telegram and Discord is I can go to Telegram and leave and everything's fine. Discord, you go in and like you're immersed in the experience, and I just don't have the time for that. But I will come in there when I can. CZ advised SBF to refrain from dropping misleading messages on Twitter. In a recent interview, Zhao rejected those rumors, describing SBF as a psychopath for writing that tweet. He also said Binance does not aim to eliminate seller platforms, but assist them during the ongoing adverse reality. Then we had guys. I want to find? Let's see if I can find my Nouriel Rubini video from Nouriel Rubini BitBoy Crypto. See if I can find this video. There it is. Look at this. Look at this old stuff. Look, I was even fighting back then. 4 years ago. 642 views. Look at that. I was coming across with the right hand, right for Nouriel, the troll of crypto. You guys should go watch this video because nobody else did. I spent a lot of time on this video, I think. Guys, here's what you need to know. There's a reason very specifically. If you look here, why does this say 4 years ago? Because he was at this same stuff exactly 4 years ago, right at the bottom of the bear market. This guy Nouriel he's a scammer. He's a serial attention getter. He just tries to take advantage. He's kind of the Peter Schiff. I don't think is a bad guy. Nouriel's a bad guy. That's the difference. So this is what he said. You want to hear what Nouriel said? This guy is so asinine, it's ridiculous. Okay, I want you guys to see how hard has it been for them to arrest SBF. Been pretty difficult, right? They haven't done it yet. I did find out, by the way, that the attorney. Let me see what it's called. Let's see here. The assistant U.S. attorney is now going after SBF. This is probably pretty much the end of the road for him. This is probably where he actually does end up getting arrested. What do you think about how difficult it is to arrest people for this? Nouriel said the other day, he called CZ a scammer and said, the last person that I called a scammer was Arthur Hayes of BitMEX. And 2 weeks after I called him a scammer, they arrested him because of what I said. Shut the front door. No, absolutely nothing that you said is getting used and arresting somebody, Nouriel. I hate that I even give this guy pub, but he is just such a clown that does need to be said. He was doing this 4 years ago. Serial attention getter. All he can do is when the price of Bitcoin is down for about 1 year, he looks smart, and the other 3 years, he looks stupid like he is. So there you go. And you want to come on here and debate me, Nouriel? I'll debate you in a heartbeat. You know why? Because you just go bye, 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 and I'll tell you to shut up and close your window. Because you say nothing good. You say nothing other than, it's a scam. It's a carnival barker. You see the people, they make the money, and then they leave the money. You don't say anything. Talk about the technology on the back end. I want to hear for one time, I want to hear Nouriel explain from a technological perspective how crypto is a scam. That's what I want to hear. Yeah, there's some bad people in crypto. You're telling me, Nouriel, you idiot, there's no bad people in your TradFi? Let me tell you, he comes to me, he better be ready to step, because I'm going to have, wait till y'all see our banking cartel video that's coming out today. Wait till you see that. Let this man defend the traditional banking space. And this is why I am so sick of people that run these panels and pass off these softball questions to these people. Challenge them. Why do we not challenge these people? Why do we allow them to run unadulterated without anyone saying, yeah, but what about this? Hey, Nouriel, let me ask you this question. How much cash does the Mexican cartel own? Do you know? You probably don't know because you're low IQ. You probably don't know. It's $500 billion. It's more than the entire market cap of Bitcoin. Okay? But yet, it's all scam. Cash is a scam. If you want to say crypto is a scam because less than 1% of transactions are nefarious, then you got to say all of cash is a scam because it's a bigger amount than the Bitcoin market cap. So there you go. We need pro-crypto super PAC lobbyists in our government. I don't understand why crypto whales don't have this going. Every other industry has one. That's what we're saying. We have reached out to people that have billions of dollars, and we can't get anybody to support what we're doing. It's insane. Now, we've had several people commit. One was a project that was on the Solana blockchain. Totally ghosted us, never talked to us again. We got them to commit to $1 million to help us towards our bill. Exciting meeting. Everything went great. And then not a peep after that. I don't know. You know what I did? I started moving all of my text messages to encrypted apps after that. Because I'm pretty sure, this is a big accusation I'm going to make here, but I'm going to make it. I'm pretty sure that FTX and Apple are in cahoots. I'm pretty sure that Sam can track text messages. I'm pretty sure that he's known to be one of the greatest hackers in the world. He's known to be one of the greatest hackers in the world by the people that know him on his inside circle. So, he's just an idiot. He's a kid. He has autism. He doesn't know what he's doing. He does. So, encrypted apps only for me now. Okay. Let's see here. Emoji for expenses, penthouses, and slipshot accounting. They had no accountant. They had a $135 or $160 million deal with the Miami Arena for the naming rights, and they didn't even have an accountant on staff.
He gave a $1 billion loan to himself. You heard that?
Yeah, $1 billion loan to himself from Alabama. Yeah. Right. I don't care about money. F you don't. I'm not going to ever come out and say the F word on the channel again after the last time. Okay, sorry. How FTX bought its way to become the most regulated crypto exchange. Before it collapsed this month, FTX stood apart from many rivals in the largely unsupervised crypto industry by boasting it was the most regulated exchange. Hilarious. It spent some $2 billion on acquisitions for regulatory purposes. Bahamas government says it ordered SBF to hack FTX. Guys, I want to know this. Who's the only person who's been telling you that Sam is a hacker? I'm the only person who's been saying it. There's actually some evidence that came out, I think it was last night. He hacked $500 million from another project. And I've been telling you, I've been told from someone very close to him that he himself hacked Cover Protocol for $100 million. If you look up the story, if you look up Cover Protocol hack, come here and you look at this, and look at this. Isn't it amazing? Cover Protocol, this was $4 million. So I don't know if this was not the same one that I was looking at, but this was a white hat hacker for Cover Protocol, right? Let's see where it is. Cover Protocol suffers infinite minting attack. Price tanks 97%. So you look here, does it have a price on it? I don't know how much he was able to make from this. I was told it was $100 million. This says Roadagger drained $5 million from the project. We already know there was a $4 million drain earlier. So maybe the number isn't as high as I thought it was, but I think it was. Where's the other one? Infinite Cover. Let's see. A brief analysis of the Cover hacked event. Maybe I got my number confused there. But regardless, I've been told he is the person that hacked Cover. If you were in on this, Andre Cronje and SBF pushed this project. He's the one that hacked it. So I really want those chain analysis experts to dig in and find this and see if you guys can figure out exactly where those funds went and how they were used. Because I believe they were used to pay off a settlement for the FTX lawsuit from 2019. That's where I think these funds went to. But Sam is a hacker, and people know that are close to him. He's more than just a common drifter. He is a smart guy. When y'all are saying he's not smart, he's just you're buying in the narrative they're trying to tell you right now. So Bahamian government wanted to get some money for protection, obviously. New wave of resignations hits Twitter after Musk ultimatum. Internal Slack messages shared with CNBC. Guy, can you imagine a bigger place of snowflakes than the Twitter office? Other employees posting goodbye messages to a water cooler chat group in the run-up to the 5 p.m. Thursday deadline must set. What was the telling employees to expect long hours at high intensity if they want to stay? He said they had till 5. Guys, if the company's not making money and it's got to get profitable, then these are the types of things that have to happen. And this is, guys, remember, this is not Elon Musk's fault. He inherited this bad system. He's trying to fix it. Engineer added that many leaving Twitter did not feel the need to stay. I don't need a job. I wish someone would look into how much SBF stole from Star Atlas.
Yeah, I've heard that's one of the Gala games.
Interesting. I never heard.
I've heard.
Reached out, or I said yesterday on the show about Gala. Nobody ever said anything.
I've heard of that one. They had a lot of issues with tokenomics and tokens crashing, and that. And I have heard that they were using some of Gala's properties, so it's an interesting angle.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. People on Twitter freaking out. Oh, this is from Esther Crawford. She stayed. To all the tweets, I were tweets, who decided to make today your last day. Thanks for being incredible teammates through the ups and downs. Can't wait to see what you do next. I'm going to stay here. I like Esther. Esther, I'm a fan of yours. I like that you stayed. Factbox advertisers react to Twitter's new ownership. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. I hate advertising. But did you see Meet Kevin, what he said, the stupid thing he said on Twitter?
No, about what?
About about Twitter.
No.
About Elon Musk.
Mm-mm.
I can't help it with these. I tell you, I have a hard time with some of the financial guys because they just come to our space and take advantage and they disappear, and they don't even talk about crypto anymore. It's like, can you really trust these people? Can you really trust the people that aren't here every day? Can you trust them more than you can trust the people that are here every day? The answer is no, you can't. They're going to come in when it's popular and they're going to leave. Meet Kevin, big talking on crypto, big on Kevin O'Leary, right? Ran for it's Solana. Star Atlas is Solana.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I guarantee he did the same thing he did to Serum on Star Atlas, probably. I bet he did. Or Steppen as well. But the fact is, Brett Holt says, yo, BitBoy, can I get a cert signed by you and TJ for Christmas? Yeah, if you send something in, we can sign it.
Yeah. I was thinking Star Atlas. That's what it was. That's Cal, but yeah.
If you guys want to, do we have our actual address to the building on the...
I mean, Town Star. I said the same thing again. I said Star Atlas again. Town Star.
Do we have the address to the building on our new website?
Yeah, it's up there. 3102.
3102 Cobb Parkway Northwest, Kennesaw, Georgia, 30152. BitBoy Crypto. You guys send anything to that. You want us to sign it, except the book. You got to come get the book signed at the book tour, at least till after the book tour is over. You guys can, send something in. We sign stuff all the time. Send it back in. Not every day, but we've signed a few things. Yeah. What I want to say is about Meet Kevin, what he said. Elon Musk said something about the money that flowed to the Democratic Party from FTX.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin just put, this is why advertisers are leaving facepalm. You know what, Kevin? If facts make advertisers leave, get them the F out. That's so stupid. Do you not understand what free speech is, sir? Do you not understand what's at stake here on Twitter? If you don't like it, Kevin, you leave. You leave, Kevin. You can go out with your friend Kevin O'Leary, who thinks SBF is the Wizard of Oz. Okay? Why don't you go do that? To talk about people saying things that are true and saying that's why advertisers are leaving, that's disgusting. That's the whole problem with our country right now. That's our problem with social media. And anyone should know, someone who promoted BlockFi, no offense to you for doing that. No offense for you to doing that. I don't have a problem with people that promoted BlockFi, okay? I always want to be clear when I say this. But you did promote BlockFi, okay? Tons of people lost their money because of it. And this is not me throwing stones at a glass house. My point is, you should understand better than anyone about being canceled and censorship. As a YouTuber, these are your two biggest fears, being censored. And all he's doing is standing up for not being censored. And you're saying, oh, the advertisers should leave him out. Then you shouldn't have any advertisers on your page either, Kevin. You shouldn't have a single advertiser on there because I'm sure your values don't align every single time with every single advertiser that goes on there. But you have the right to your free speech. And you should be proud of that. And you should use it. We shouldn't criticize somebody else or say, that's why advertisers are leaving. No, screw that freaking snowflake advertising system. That's why the technocracy is in charge. You're running in California to change things right now. What you're trying to do? What's the problem? The technocracy that's taking over. And that's what he's trying to prevent. And you're saying, nah, I don't like that crap. I'm just here to tell you. I also don't like you ignored my DM I sent to you last year. Thanks. So nothing personal. That is personal. I'm just kidding. Okay. XRP Army, where are you at? XRP Army. Hey, did you see David Schwartz?
No.
I hope my dad's not watching. I don't care my dad's watching. I love my dad. Let me show you what I said. Let's see. Same at it again. The me, Larry, somebody. You would not. Oh, it's right here. David Schwartz takes a big L right here. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Somebody said it's the only time they've ever seen somebody handle David Schwartz. I like David Schwartz. Whatever. He's kind of an intentional troll. You would never believe who I talked to tonight. Like, never. Always another layer to this story. David Schwartz says, your father?
Oh, jeez.
And so I said, my dad did just survive lung cancer and chemotherapy this year. So no, it's not surprising when I talk to him. If he died, then yeah, that would certainly be a weird phone call. Thanks for playing, David. We have a George Foreman grill and some hair products for you. So there you go. No offense, David. I understand what David. Sometimes you put your foot in your mouth, you know, like you just say like, oh, yo, mama. And the person's like, my mom died in a car accident last year. And it's like, oh, you know, I certainly was guilty of saying stuff like that when I was a kid. The yo mama jokes were popular. But anyways, I thought the XRP army might like that.
You also seem like the kid that would say, when somebody made a you mama joke to you, you would say something like that just to make them feel bad, even if it wasn't true.
How do you know me so well? I definitely did that for sure, you know. Great time to join BitBoy's Pluto Alliance NFT project. Maurice Mendoza. Yeah,
I forgot to I forgot to show the trailer for the cruise.
Oh, yeah, trailer for the cruise. Well, let's end with it. Let me end this story here.
Yeah.
They're set to launch several capabilities this year to scale XRP based ODL. You got to have XRP to take part in this. Just yesterday at the Swell conference, I wish I was there. I can't believe that I didn't realize the Swell conference was in London. I would have done maybe some better planning this year. Announcing, I want to go next year for sure. Announcing massive milestones for the adoption of RippleNet and on-demand liquidity. One of the main focuses was on the development of CBDCs. In a new recent blog post, Ripple has now revealed the company is projecting massive growth over the next year. At the conference, Garling House announced that nearly 40 payout markets are now live on ODL, representing 90% of the currency markets. We recently announced various new ODL customers are proud to say ODL payout markets include Africa, Argentina, Belgium, Israel, Australia, Brazil, Singapore, UAE, and the UK. The list goes on. It's now targeting businesses as well. So pretty good stuff. If you want to see my thoughts on XRP and you want to see how I kind of get around the idea of the banker coin or get around the idea of they're partnered with the WEF, I think a lot of people get a lot of use out of watching on Rice TVX today. Or is it Rice XTV? It's Rice TVX, right?
I believe so.
Chris Rice, great friend of mine, been on his channel several times, known him for years. Go check that video out. I think it's either out now or be out by later today. I really give my viewpoints and my thoughts on those kinds of tension points when it comes to XRP and why certain people don't like it and why I'm willing to say to concede some certain points. It's probably the first time I've ever really laid out exactly my viewpoint on that. So you guys make sure to go check out my interview on his channel later today. Crypto startup Ripple seeking a license in Ireland to drive EU expansion, obviously on the left side of the road. TJ, in Italy, what side of the road do they drive on? The right side or left side?
The right side.
Okay. Have you ever been to a country where they drive on the left side?
Yeah, Malta, they drove on the left side.
It is so hard to walk.
Yeah.
You just don't know where the cars are coming and going.
On the left side in Italy. No, I think they did drive on the left side. What's weird is when the weirdest
I think most of Europe does right side, I believe.
Yeah, the weirdest thing about a left side drive country is when you make a left turn, you can't, like you're going around a corner. They have so many corners and you make a left turn, you can't see anything. And there's cars. It's just, there's a lot of things that are weird about it.
Yeah, it's just like you just can't, like in our Western mind here, it's just hard, or in our American mind where we drive on the right side of the road, it's hard to ever get used to it. I could not drive there. I would not rent a car and drive there.
Yeah.
Like I can't even figure out how to get in the Uber, which I don't even really use Ubers. They all use the tube over there.
We drove around Italy a lot. We were definitely on the right side for most of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused because they're right next to, I did them right back to back. So.
Y'all remember the Yo Mama show they used to have with the guy from the 70s show?
Yeah.
Wilder Valderrama.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Let's end with the cruise trailer.
Yep.
We'll go out. So appreciate you guys. Stay for the trailer. Don't forget to go to Blockchain Basement.
Yep.
1:15 on Twitch. I watched a little bit of it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
It is. It's fun. We have a lot. It's just chill. It's more laid back. So yeah.
And AJ had a great dad joke, and nobody caught it. And he pointed at the camera and went, "I was the only person that caught it." I caught it, AJ. You did a good job. Sorry, guys. That's all I got. Be blessed. Watch this trailer. Come on a cruise with us. BitBoy out. We're going to the Bahamas. You know what that means. You know who we're going after if he's still there. To the Bahamas. Anybody in the BitSquad is eligible to come. All you got to do is visit bitboycrypto.com and go to the top menu and click on cruise to get all the details. And when you see me on the cruise, just remember, my eyes are up here.